You want to manifest more, feel more aligned, raise your vibration, but you can't. You're feeling stuck in your usual spot. Did you know you have to prepare your body for higher frequencies? And this is especially important if you're already feeling exhausted, worn out, scattered, running on fumes. Yeah, I was there too. And these 7 shifts I'm going to share with you today are things that helped me feel better, get more energy, have more focus, and raise my frequency. You ready? Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Ignite Your Life podcast. I am so excited to have you here for today's topic. This is something that has come as a request from a couple of my listeners who reached out to me, because if you're not aware, last year in 2024, I spent the entire year working on building up my own wellness routine to support higher frequencies. It was... The premise of it for me was, I reached midlife and things I was doing before that helped me feel good weren't working anymore. And I really wanted to take a deep dive and figure out what it is I needed now. But along the way, I got a lot more energy, a lot more focus, and my vibration went up. My manifesting desires really exploded during the year. So we hear so much about raising your vibration and getting your frequency up with manifesting. But again, like I mentioned in the intro, your body needs to be ready for that. And Tony Robbins talks about that a little bit, getting your nervous system prepared for a higher frequency, and even more importantly, to be able to maintain it. I know I have definitely experienced highs with my vibration that blow out my nervous system, and I'm just exhausted, sometimes for days, even a couple of weeks before I can really recover. So you need to get your body ready. Yeah, all the mindset work is important, the visualizing, the journaling, all the things, right? But then your body needs to be prepared to get into that higher vibration. And what you'll find is lower vibration activities won't be sustainable anymore. We're going to talk about those as we go through this. So I have already shared a whole series of My Year to Thrive videos. I will link to them below so you can go check them out for each of the topics. I'll share a little bit about them. But the request was, yeah, but what's the most important thing? So I pulled the 7 most important things that I did last year that I keep doing, right? They work. And these are things that help me feel better. Just in case you're new here, my name is Laura. I've been a life coach and yoga educator and wellness advocate for 35 years, almost 35 years now. And I really do focus on all 3. I feel like life coaching, yoga, and wellness things, they all fit together to help us feel our very best so that we can live that extraordinary life that we all have deep inside of us. Finding that life that's deeply fulfilling, full of purpose, and vibrantly joyful for you. So all of my courses and programs include components of coaching, yoga, and wellness things. So that's what we're going to look at today. What are some really tangible wellness things you can do that will help you get your energy up, physical energy, your physical focus, and help you raise your frequency? This is a great topic. I think you're going to enjoy it. So I would love to know as we go through, comment below, let me know the 1 or 2 that really jump out at you, something you need to work on. I also love to hear when you're doing something really well. I love it when people say, hey, I'm already doing this. It's like, yes, thumbs up, good for you. Now, if all of these are something that are of interest to you and you'd really like to test it out for yourself, then you can join me for a 2-week wellness reset called Simply Clean. I'll talk more about it at the end of the video, but you can also link below to find out more. Wellness tip number 1, and by far the most important, is to be able to regulate your nervous system all day long. So something that a lot of manifesting coaches are now talking about, it's so important. I've been talking about it for years because it's just the key to manifesting is being able to regulate your nervous system. Now, what does that mean? Well, your nervous system controls stress and relaxation. Okay, when you are stressed out, you are riding really high, you can't manifest from that state. Okay, we don't manifest from stress, fear, freaking out. We manifest from relaxation, trust, faith, allowing things to flow into our lives. Now, most of us ride high with our nervous system, meaning we are in that stress response state. And when we're in that state, we can't have a high frequency either. Okay, our nervous system is I always think of it as it's frazzled, right? And a high frequency just blows it out when it's there. You need to get your nervous system to the relaxed state. We can't always live in relaxation. We don't always want to. There are benefits to the stress response, okay? There's good stresses, there's reasons we have it, right? It's not bad in and of itself. What's bad is living from that place, which so many of us do. And our nervous system is so used to being there, it just hangs out there. Okay, one of the things I discovered, I got a Lily Garmin watch. I will link to it below. I do not even have an affiliate. I have sold so many of these things since I started talking about it. And it measures stress levels, and it measures the quality of my sleep, and it measures my body battery, which is the amount of reserves you have. And what I have discovered is my truly restorative sleep, meaning I fill my body battery, is when I'm relaxed. Okay? When I'm wired and I go to sleep wired, even if I sleep all night, I may wake up going, wow, I slept all night, but I feel exhausted and wrung out. It's because it wasn't restorative sleep. We need to teach our nervous system how to relax and do it throughout the day. So a lot of people talk about be sure you relax before bed, which is 100% important, crucial. I'm telling you, it made all the difference in my sleep quality. But what I discovered during my year is what helped the most is if I was doing it throughout the day, like 2 or 3 times during the day, to stop, take a few breaths, relax, get myself into a calmer place. It just made such a difference in training my nervous system to live at a lower level. And when I say lower level, I mean not riding high in stress, but in a very calm place. And it makes all the difference in your manifesting. So I really utilized yoga, of course, breath work, and vagus nerve work. Okay, I really dove deep into the vagus nerve, which is your nerve that helps you stimulate your relaxation response. And I talk about that in my Year to Thrive, Discovering True Relaxation. So you can go check that video out next to learn more about what that is. Just know that regulating your nervous system takes practice. This isn't something that happens really fast. Think of it as like exercise, okay? Weight training. It's going to take a while for you to be able to lift the weight you want to lift, and it's going to take even longer to see the muscles begin to pop out, right? Same with the nervous system. It's going to take a little time to train your nervous system to do what you want it to do and to learn how to live at a lower level. Be patient. It's worth it. Second wellness tip I want to share with you is create a powerful, sacred bedtime ritual. So I cannot emphasize enough the power of a good night's sleep. I know you know, but I don't think we realize the link between really feeling well rested, energized, the link between that and our frequency. But think of it, when you're exhausted, how can you have a high frequency? You can't. They can't go hand in hand, especially if it's day after day after day after day. And having a evening routine that really helps you unwind, regulate your nervous system, and give you a really solid night's sleep, it's just magic. It is absolutely magic. So figuring out what you need. I like to do a little bit of yoga to stretch out the muscles where I'm holding tension, because it's hard for me to relax when I'm holding tension. I'll do tennis balls, down my back, getting into the muscles in my back. I have a massager, little thumper thing, that I use on my massage gun, I think they're called. And I also like to put my feet up the wall, or I put my feet up on our chair in our bedroom, as my husband and I will watch a YouTube video or something as we're unwinding, or he reads a book out loud to me. I get my diffuser going. I love my diffuser, okay? This diffuser is one of those wake up light ones, but it has essential oils in it too. So I have an essential oil in it for bedtime and one for morning. And I love it because I get the essential oils. It's set on a timer. They're already going in my room when I start to come in for my bedtime routine. It's already begun. It's fantastic. Now, I did do a My Year to Thrive on sleep too, and you can check out my 6 wellness tips for a good night's sleep, so I will link to that below as well. Wellness tip number 3 is really a corollary to number 2, but it's so important I wanted to give its own little slot, and that is finding your best sleep hours. Now, here's the thing. Everyone has their own sleep hours. I am of the mind that most of us need to go to bed earlier to really help ourselves get our best sleep, but I also know everyone is made differently. My daughter is a night owl. She became a night owl at the age of like 8, where I could not get her to sleep. She could not fall asleep, and she needed to be up later and be able to sleep a little bit later. So everyone is a little bit different. For me, going to bed earlier was key. I need to be in bed by about 9:30, really unwinding, doing those final relaxations, having lights out by 10:15 at the latest. If I go any further, couple things happen. First of all, I start to get adrenalized. My second wind, by the way, your second wind is not good. People often talk about their second wind like, it was great, I got my second wind. Your second wind is just a release of adrenaline that gets you into your stress response. And then it's very hard for me to fall asleep, especially since reaching midlife. And the second thing that happens is I get my best sleep before about 2 a.m. I mean, on my watch, my sleep app, you can see my deep sleep happens then. Every once in a while, I'll have a deep sleep cycle earlier, early in the morning, later in my sleep cycle. But 98% of the time, my deep sleep happens before 2 a.m. So I need to be asleep by 10:15 at the latest. And the other thing is awake by 6 or 6:30. And I am telling you that makes a huge difference. If I go to bed at 11 and get up at 7, I'm groggy. If I go to bed at 10 and wake up at 7:30, I'm groggy. I have a very specific set of hours of sleep. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. So you can test that out for yourself, but it is probably going to affect you more than you realize. Wellness tip number 4 is movement throughout the day, taking little walks throughout the day. This is so powerful because it's really good for your metabolism, especially if you're a woman of a certain age, but everybody, it affects you, so you burn more calories just at rest. It also helps with your energy levels. It helps you feel better. It helps you regulate your nervous system. To just take 5 or 10-minute walks. Outside is great, but I have a walking pad. I do it often in my office as I'm working. I like to start my day with 5 or 10 minutes outside, which is really powerful for your circadian rhythm, to go for a walk, get sunshine in your eyes. I like to take a little something after lunch. My husband and I go for a walk after dinner. And usually somewhere in there, I take a long walk because I'm working on getting my steps up. So I might do more like a 5,000, 6,000 step walk. But just getting a little bit of movement in throughout the day can make a huge difference for your body, for feeling better, and for getting your frequency up. Hey, I just wanted to check in and see if you've subscribed to my channel yet. It's totally free and it helps me so much. Also, if you happen to have a friend who could use this information, I would really appreciate it if you sent it to them. The more people get to see this, the better. So let's get back to the content. Okay, we're halfway through, and I'm telling you the rest of them are awesome, so stick with me. Number 5 is a supplement that I take, drinking Ningxia Red daily. Now, Ningxia Red is an antioxidant drink from Young Living, and it is so powerful. Antioxidants are really powerful. Google the effect of antioxidants, but they affect your energy, and they affect my vibration. I can feel my vibration go up when I drink it. Now I mix it in with a little bit of Inner Boost and Balance, which is another supplement from Young Living. I add a little bit of kombucha to it, and then I top it off with sparkling water. It is my favorite way to start the day. Okay, so I have my tea in the morning, and then I have my supplement drink. But here's the thing, the drink raises my vibration. It gives me energy. It gives me focus. Without any crash or anything, the antioxidants help your body do it naturally. That is so important, right? We want our energy to come from our body functioning well. So that way, it helps you raise your frequency. When we do things to mask the fatigue, etc., when we do it with caffeine and sugar, then it actually makes our vibration go down. right? We crash afterwards. We crash from it, especially if you're doing a lot of it. And I'll tell you, I still use it myself occasionally. I like some good sugar here and there, and I drink a cup of black tea every morning. That's not a lot of caffeine in it, but it's still some. So I'm not saying don't do any if it's something you really enjoy, but just realize there are other ways to support your energy that also support your frequency. Now I'll link below to a link to help you grab those if you want them, and let me know if you have any questions. Number 6, find your food formula. Okay, so stick with me. I've been in the wellness realm since I was in 9th grade. That was when I discovered my first exercise class, started to investigate nutrition and how I can eat better and how I can get more nutrients into my body, etc. I am immersed in this world. I have been through more food trends than I care to even think about, and I've tested all of them. And I'm here to tell you, you need to find what works with your body, okay? You don't need to go for any fads, any of that. Just start to pay attention to how you feel after you eat something. Does it make you feel like you're energized? Does it make you feel lethargic? Like, I happen to know that salads at lunch give me energy. Salads, especially with protein on it, like I might do salmon on it or garbanzo beans or something like that. That gives me energy for the rest of the afternoon. If I have something that's a little high in carbs, I'm lethargic. Now, that said, I like to have those at dinner so that it helps me sleep better, right? So timing your food well, finding what works in your system, it's really powerful. Now, as part of that, I cut way back on alcohol. I realized just how much alcohol was affecting my sleep. As a result of my watch, I realized that I couldn't get to rest with even just a glass of wine in my system. So I wasn't getting the restorative sleep. Okay, so that's something you want to think about. And I know it changes especially for women when we hit that certain age, but something to pay attention to. I haven't completely cut it out, but I only drink it on certain nights when I know I can sleep in the next day, or I don't have to be focused, I don't have to be sharp, I don't drink anything during the week. It would only be on the weekends if I drink it at all. So that's something that you want to think about too. Alcohol affects our frequency because we can't relax and our nervous system is riding high. And that's what keeps me from getting that deep, restorative, replenishing sleep. Number 7 is a really important one, and I think it's one that we're all starting to work on a little bit more, and that's boundaries with our energy drains. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, because first of all, you need to figure out what does drain your energy, and then you have to be able to reduce your exposures to it somehow, some way. So energy leaks, these are things that make us feel, ugh. Okay, we have things that give us energy, they make us go, ah, right? That's the simplistic way of looking at it, but it helps, it works, right? And when you go, oh, your energy drains, your frequency goes down, you lose that vibration, and you want to pay attention to that. Maybe there are people in your life that you need to either break up with. I had one friend in particular that I had to release, and it was really hard. We'd been friends for like a decade, and we were immersed in each other's businesses, and it was tricky to let it go, but I realized how much of a drain it was on me. I wasn't getting anything out of it. If you can't let it go, how can you limit your exposure to that person? Because realize when you go, oh, your frequency is going down, okay? And often they're seeking to spend time with you because you're so much higher, they're lower, they want you to bring them up, and you do, right? But at the same time, you're coming down so that you guys get closer to each other. So you want to really take some time to figure out what's draining you and how you can limit that exposure. Now, along with that, I also realized, like social media, I'm much faster, clearer in the morning. If I open it up at night, that's when I might just start to scroll and scroll and scroll. So I don't do it at night anymore. I just don't open it. So something to think about for yourself. If you would like to work on this with me, I would love to do it with you. What I did in 2024 is every month I did a 2-week wellness reset, and I call it Simply Clean. And I do it with my wellness community. And this year I'm doing it quarterly. So I will link to it below, but you can do it with me. All you need to do is get the Ningxia Red to join us. And that's the main supplement we use. But then we're also, tapping into all of the shifts that we can make in order to raise our vibration. It is the most powerful 2 weeks ever. It's very gentle. I don't believe in extremes. Very gentle. And the idea is that many of the things you're going to be doing, you'll be able to maintain after it ends. You're just going to get yourself going, little motivation, little accountability and structure, and you'll be able to do that. So if you're interested in doing that, I will link to it below, and you can also message me and let me know that you're in so that I can get you hooked up with all of the resources that you get with this. Hey, thanks for joining me. This has been so much fun sharing this all with you. Now I have a couple of places you might like to go. So I have a video here, Manifesting Red Flags, 5 signs you're blocking your own abundance. I'm guessing you feel that way. Maybe a little, which is why you were drawn to this. Or you can also step into a really quick yoga video that is on feeling stuck, a quick flow to instantly shift your energies. You might want to go check that out. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe, leave a comment, let me know which tip you're going to dive into, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.